What's up guys, Jesse here. So these are the Beats Studio Buds, and these are the Airpods Pro. They're both Bluetooth wireless noise cancelling headphones made by Apple, with one pretty big difference: price. So the Airpods Pro retail for $250, while the Beats Studio Buds retail for $100 less at $150. So you may ask yourself, what makes the Airpods worth $100 more than the Beats? And the simple answer to that is, well, they're probably not for most people. They're both good earbuds, and if you only have $150 to spend on earbuds, then go with the Beats. They have a lot to offer, and I think in certain ways they even beat the AirPods. But I think if you're a little bit more flexible on the budget, then the AirPods Pro do have some extra features that make them worth considering. I already have individual reviews for both of these, so if you want a more detailed look at either of them, make sure you go check those out, and I'll have them linked down below in the description. But in this video, we're going to be comparing these and then going over all the reasons that you might want to get one over the other. So if that sounds good, let's jump into it, starting by talking about the cases, because I always say that the case is just as important as the buds themselves when it comes to using these as a whole. So overall, size-wise, both are pretty compact and can fit comfortably in a pocket, but the AirPods are smaller in pretty much every dimension, so they get the win here. I think the design of the AirPods case is also a little cleaner with the flatter sides and lack of branding. While on the Beats, of course, you gotta have that iconic B on there. However, the Beats do come in a couple of different colors, so you can choose whichever one suits you the best, while with the AirPods, you can choose any color you'd like as long as it's white. More importantly though, and if you're a fidgeter like I am, you know what I'm talking about, which one of these is more satisfying to open and close? I think Apple tends to get this the best out of all the brands out there, but in my opinion, the AirPods Pro win this. They use a metal hinge, which just makes it feel a little bit more solid, and there's just a little bit more mass in the lid, so it's just a little bit more satisfying. Not to say that the Beats are bad though, because out of all of the earbuds I've tried, I would say that the Beats are number 2 behind only the AirPods Pro. Now moving on to the buds, design-wise, these are pretty different and you can decide for yourself which one you like the look of better. But personally, I like the AirPods a little bit more, and probably part of the reason is just that I've gotten so used to seeing everyone wearing them around me. When these first came out, the whole toothbrush design was super controversial, but at this point we're all just kind of used to seeing it, and if this is something that you care about, which I'm not saying you should or shouldn't, more people are going to know what you have if you're wearing these than with the Beats. So they're more recognizable, which, you know, depending on who you are, could be a bad thing or a good thing. Now, comfort-wise, I think it's actually very close. Normally, the larger an earbud is, the more uncomfortable they tend to be. And for these two, the size of the buds is really close. The AirPods do have that stem that hangs off, but the part that actually goes into your ear is about the same. And both of these are really comfortable to me. But where I think the AirPods start to pull ahead is with these ventilation ports. So both of these use silicone ear tips, which give a good seal, but they also cause this kind of uncomfortable sensation of pressure building up in the ears. But the AirPods have ventilation ports built in to relieve that pressure, and they definitely do work. So if you tried these rubber ear tips before and you know you don't like that feeling, then the AirPods might be worth checking out just for that. As far as fit goes though, I really can't give a winner here because to me they're both essentially the same. They both work really well with my ears and I've never really had an issue with them falling out, but they also don't come with any kind of secure fit wings or ear hooks or anything like that, so this is something you're gonna have to check out for yourself. But I would say that the fit is so similar on both of these that if one of them works for you, the other probably will as well. But the opposite is also true, so if one doesn't work for you, the other probably won't either. So if you can, try these out before buying. These also both have media controls on the earbuds. With the AirPods, you just squeeze the stem, while on the Beats, you press the button. And I would say that I really prefer squeezing the stem on the AirPods over the button on the Beats, Because with the Beats, every time you use it, you're pretty much forced to just keep on jamming the earbud deeper and deeper into the ear, and it gets pretty uncomfortable pretty fast. You get pretty much the same controls on either of these though, so functionality wise you're not really missing out on much either way. Active noise cancellation is definitely better on the AirPods Pro, but I think you could get by with either. And the ANC on the Beats is actually really impressive considering their price point. Transparency mode is also much better on the AirPods Pro, and it's so good that it sounds like you're just not wearing any earbuds. With the Beats though, everything is just a lot more muffled and unnatural sounding and just not as good overall. But which one of these sounds better for music? And I think there's kind of two ways of tackling that. Which one has more bass and which one sounds better. And you can probably guess which is which, but true to the Beats brand identity, the Beats Studio Buds have a lot of bass. And it really starts to leak into the mid-range and starts to muddy up the vocals, but if you're into a lot of bass, these have got you covered. While the AirPods on the other hand are definitely not winning any awards for sound quality, but I think overall they are the better sounding, more balanced earbuds, but they are lacking any kind of meaningful bass response, so if that's something that you're looking for, the Beats are probably the better way to go for sound. Alright, so here is the mic test. So the audio you're hearing now is coming from the mics on the Beats Studio Buds, and I'll just take this as a chance to tell you guys about the battery specs. So they have 5 hours of battery in the buds with ANC on, and 2 more charges in the case, and also a quick charge feature for 1 hour of playback with a 5-minute charge. And now the audio you're hearing is coming from the AirPods Pro, and just like with the Beats, I'll use this as a chance to tell you guys about the battery specs. So 4.5 hours of playback with ANC on with 2 more charges in the case, and also 1 hour of playback with a 5-minute charge. So the battery specs are almost the exact same as the Beats, so if you're looking for battery life, both of these are going to serve you just fine. And that is the mic test, so let me know what you guys thought in the comment section down below. To charge them back up, the Beats use USB-C, which I always love to see, especially on any Apple-made product, but they do not have wireless charging, which really is a shame. While the AirPods use Lightning as the wired connection, which sucks, but they do support wireless. Personally, I use wireless charging almost exclusively, so this is a pretty big deal to me, but you guys know your charging habits better than I do. Now, moving on to features, I think this is where things start to get a lot more interesting. With the AirPods, if you're using them with an Apple device like an iPhone or an iPad, you start to get a lot of extra features that you wouldn't get with any other headphones. The two biggest being spatial audio and multi-device connection. So spatial audio, if you haven't heard about it already, basically allows you to have a surround sound-like experience, but with headphones. And it'll be able to tell like spatially where your earbuds are in relation to the device that you're listening from, and then make it sound like the sound is coming from the physical location of that device, even though you're wearing headphones. For movies and TV shows that support it, I think it's actually a really cool feature, and it's definitely worth checking out at some point if you haven't tried it already. Music is a little bit more of a mixed bag though, because most songs out there just aren't really optimized to take advantage of it, and everything just starts to sound a little bit weird. So multi-point connection basically makes it so that if you're using multiple Apple devices at the same time, for example an iPhone and an iPad, the earbuds will be able to intelligently determine which one you're actually using and which one it should connect to and play audio from. And when it works, it's super handy and I love it, but I would say that a portion of the time, maybe like 20%, it just does not know which one to connect to, and it's really hard to get it to connect to the correct device without just totally putting them back in the case, turning them off, and then reconnecting. On the Beats, the features are a little bit more sparse, but unlike the AirPods, you don't lose anything by using these with an Android. So you get instant pairing without having to dig through the Bluetooth settings when you open these up for the first time on Android or iOS. And this also has an app that goes along with it that lets you do some pretty basic stuff, like turn active noise cancellation on and off, change the name of the headphones, and change what a long press of the button does. But that's pretty much it. So at the end of the day, I feel like the AirPods are worth a little extra if you're willing to pay for it. They pack in a lot of extra features, and if you're not after that insane bass, they don't sound too bad. And especially since these have been out for quite a while now, you can regularly find them for sale. All of that is with the asterisk though, this only applies if you use an iPhone. If you use an Android phone, it's still probably not worth it to get these because you're just missing out on so many features that you'll be paying for. The Beats, on the other hand, are, I think, still a good option for the price that they come in at. You get really decent ANC, a ton of bass if you're into that, and in my opinion, a really decent fit. So I think the question of which one is for you boils down to 1, do you use an iPhone? And 2, what's your budget? If you don't use an iPhone, it just doesn't really make sense to get the AirPods Pro because you're gonna be paying extra for a lot of features that you're just not gonna use. But if you do use an iPhone and you can justify spending the extra money, I think the AirPods Pro are worth considering. Anyways, that's it for this one. Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section down below, which one you're gonna go for. Remember to smash that like button, and if you enjoy content like this, think about subscribing and hitting the bell so you don't miss anything. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace!